This is where you're going to get VeChain news. To help this channel, please be sure to like and subscribe. This article is by VeChain101.com, and a link to this article can be found below this video. What would your life be like in a world of magic, fantasy, and adventure? Welcome to VulcanVerse, an interactive 3D virtual world where you can forge your own destiny. VulcanVerse is a massively multiplayer online role-playing game where players create their own adventures, interact with others, and buy land to design their own buildings, products, and services. Essentially, it's a virtual world built by the players for the players. By owning and improving their land parcels and represented by non-fungible tokens, NFTs, players are able to move up the 7 tiers to the new Olympus levels. Reaching a higher rank gives you access to new features, building tools, and Vulcanites, collectible NFT creatures that accompany you along your journey. The game is built on the VeChain Thor blockchain and enables users to integrate smart contracts to create events and provide services for others. An artist, for example, could design and upload their own assets and use a smart contract to organize competitions or build a pay-to-enter gallery or museum displaying their artwork. Below is a video showing a concept of the land builder that users would have access to as they develop their land parcels. What makes VulcanVerse special? The concept of creating virtual worlds on the blockchain isn't new. Projects such as Decentraland, CryptoVoxels, or Mega CryptoPolies are already running on the Ethereum and Tron networks. However, VulcanVerse differentiates itself by introducing unique features, as documented in VulcanForge's Medium post. In this article, we analyze the significance of some of the more important ones. Complete standalone application. Instead of running on a web browser, VulcanVerse is played via a downloadable standalone application. This allows the game to use better audio visuals without lag and can potentially enable players to use some of the inbuilt tools offline. A landowner, for example, might be able to use the scenery builder to design new assets and sync the work the next time the interface goes online. Content depth, fantasy background story, and lore. At the dawn of adventure games, stories were practically non-existent. Characters were heard from but rarely seen, and the measure of a game lay almost solely in the mental challenge it presented. Those days are over. Robert Bob Bates, American game designer. VulcanVerse is a fantasy universe full of lore and history. The world is split into 5 different arenas, each with its own narrative, development paths, and mythical creatures, and all linked by a common topic, the Vulcan gods. This is important, as having an overarching narrative connecting all the VulcanVerse elements helps to engage and immerse the players into the game. It gives the everything a meaning and encourages users to co-create the story and become part of the world. This is the reason why game publishers create stories for their adventure games, and why VulcanVerse's partnership with big names such as Jamie Thompson, Dave Morris, and Ian Livingstone can make the game more exciting and entertaining. In their own words, VulcanVerse is not just a world, but an immersive world of fantasy where every element, piece of land, and Vulcanite has its own piece of lore attached. Choose from 4 different types of land. Aside from the land of Vulcan, players can choose any plot of land they wish to own. The type of land dictates the materials, building tools, and Vulcanites players are entitled to, and while users can create their own assets, VulcanVerse universal laws will ensure that only the designs that fit and are consistent with the land's overall theme are uploaded onto the game. To avoid breaking immersion, for example, a player will not be able to build an Arcadia-looking structure in the land of Hades. In a way, dividing the world into different territories creates clans with which players can identify themselves with. Being part of the land of Arcadia, for example, can create a sense of belonging towards the land, which consequently can encourage landowners to support and interact with others from the same quadrant. If a competition between the land of Arcadia and Hades is released, for example, users from the same land will be incentivized to coordinate and collaborate with each other. Having different lands also makes the game replayable, as once you've reached the 7th tier to the new Olympus, you could decide to buy another plot of land in another quadrant and start from scratch. Vulcan City, the neutral territory. Players will be able to visit Vulcan City in the middle of the map, a territory that will remain neutral and be used as a gathering plaza to release new features, organize special events and festivals, and give VeChain contributors a space to build tools that benefit the community. VeChain, for example, we'll have a bank where players can swap tokens, and VeChain on 101 will likely have a radio tower to broadcast news and updates. Imagine if you could also have a coliseum where you could have Vulcanite frenzies with other players, attend virtual concerts, or watch a live stream of Sunny with other players. Wouldn't that be cool? 7 tiers to the new Olympus and VTHO tokenomics. Landowners have a wide selection of terrains, items, building tools, animations, and special effects they can choose from. However, access to them will vary depending on the rank of their land. To level up, you need to meet specific predefined experience requirements. Make a sacrifice to the Vulcan gods, in effect burning a specific amount of VTHO. Pay fixed monthly upkeep costs in VTHO to maintain your land level and avoid being demoted. The higher the level, the higher the upkeep cost. Having different levels helps to keep players engaged and enables VulcanVerse to offer rewards to the more committed players. Landowners who reach the new Olympus, for example, could be awarded special NFT treasures or Vulcanites, be added to a Hall of Fame, or other potential benefits. One key aspect about the tiers to the new Olympus is that everyone can play at their own pace. According to the VulcanVerse team, they don't want to force players to do something such as unnecessary gaming aspects that they don't want. Landowners are free to enjoy the game by leveling up, by building on their lands, participating in Vulcanite events, designing their own assets, exploring the world in many other ways. We don't want to integrate gameplay that affects everyone that doesn't want to be involved in the gameplay. Some people may want to just buy land, level up, have fun exploring, talk to people, etc. Jamie, founder of VulcanVerse, Variarty, and Vulcan Forge. No need to deal with crypto. While games such as Decentraland use their own mana token with ETH for gas, VulcanVerse is fully powered by VTHO. This enables players to trade assets in fiat currency thanks to fee delegation. It also makes the game more user-friendly for the general public. Being able to avoid cryptocurrency should make it easier to appeal to a broader audience. Obviously, the cryptocurrency element will be there if people want it. Vulcanites. Vulcanites are the pet creatures of VulcanVerse. Each of them is unique, has a tailored lore and set of skills that can be powered up to a cap, and is exclusive to its land area and level. Owning higher-tiered land grants access to Vulcanites with higher skill limits. While VulcanVerse is all about world building, introducing Vulcanites opens up a wide range of additional functionalities and game modes. They can be used to forage materials, compete for exclusive NFT during treasure hunts, or participate in community-led mini-games and side quests. To balance world building and interactivity, they provide benefits for their owners and help them level up, but cannot be used to negatively affect others. They cannot attack players unless it's part of an event. This avoids players that only want to explore and build their lands from being forced to interact with Vulcanites. It is also important to clarify that, while Vulcanites are part of the VulcanVerse universe, they can also be stored as NFT in a standalone Vulcanite DM. In the separate Vulcanite portal, Players can view their Vulcanite stats, explore which ones are available at what levels, browse other players' Vulcanites, and trade them as 2D game cards in the marketplace. In essence, their presence in VulcanVerse is a 3D representation of the Vulcanite game cards. Thanks for watching, and to my subscribers, thank you for your support, and I'll see you next time.